everyone, this is Zuzu. 안녕하세요 여러분, 저는 주지입니다. And today I wanted to make a new BTS item because it's been BTS's 9th anniversary. So in the previous video I made two BT21 bags. I made RJ and Koya. And I think they're really cute, so I thought I would add another BT21 character to the family, which is going to be Tata! I think Tata is my second favorite BT21 character, so I just had to make it. So instead of a backpack like RJ and Koya, I decided I wanted to make more like a shoulder bag with a pouch or a little bit smaller, and I think it turned out really cute. This is Tata. I will show you how to make one yourself. It's not that difficult. So if you're ready, let's go make it.
First, we are going to cut our patterns. When you're cutting these patterns out, don't forget to add about a centimeter of sewing allowance. For this I use this handy magnet on my scissors, but if you don't have one, you can easily add an extra centimeter to the pattern and just cut straight next to the paper. For this bag I'm planning to use Tata's face for the front side and use the blue with yellow dots for the back side. If you prefer to keep the whole bag red, feel free to do so. In that case, you need to cut out 2 times Tata's face from the red fabric. If you want to make the exact same bag as me, cut out 1 time Tata's face from the red fabric and then 3 times from the blue fabric. The 2 extra blue parts are for the lining of the bag. If you're making the red version, you still need 2 blue parts for the lining of the bag, or if you want to keep those red as well, feel free. After cutting it all out, you should have Tata's face 4 times. Once you're done with that, cut out a long strip of fabric for the bag's belt. Keep in mind that when you buy fabrics at the store, they are never cut out in a straight line. We do want the belt to be straight, so draw a line and cut alongside it to make the strip of the belt completely straight. As you can see, my fabric really wasn't cut out straight, and that's why this is necessary. As for the length, just measure how long you want the bag to hang when it's resting on your shoulder and use that measurement for the length. As for the width, you can choose whatever you like. I wanted mine to be 3 centimeters wide, so in that case I have to measure 6 centimeters in width due to the fact that I'll be folding it when I sew it later on. Also, don't forget to add an extra centimeter to both sides for sewing allowance again. Now that we've got the most basic shapes for the bag, it's time to cut out Tata's details. Here I'm cutting out the mouth, eyes and eyebrows. These are all black, so I cut it out of a black fabric. Tata's mouth also has a yellow inner circle, so after cutting out all the black parts we can cut out the yellow part from the pattern. Feel free to reshape it a bit after cutting the patterns out. Sometimes it needs a bit of a cleanup, so take your time if you need to. After all the facial expressions, I'm also cutting out some yellow dots for the backside of the bag. Again, if you want your bag to be completely red, you can skip this part, or if you just want the blue part but not the dots, then you can also skip this part. Now we can use the face pattern as a guide for the facial parts. Before we can actually sew all these parts to the red fabric, we need to sew the mouth first. So we need to sew the yellow to the black and then the black little line to the yellow again. I'm using a very simple stitch for this and I sew it quite loosely. You can stitch it as many times as you want if you want it to be more secure, or if you even want to glue this instead of sewing, then that's fine as well. Just keep in mind that if you use glue, you cannot wash the bag. Once all the parts of the mouth has been sewn together, we can sew all the facial parts to the red fabric. I'm using the same technique as before with the mouth, and again, if you prefer to be more meticulous or want to use glue, feel free to do so. This also applies to the yellow dots on the back. For the next part I'll be using my sewing machine because I don't like hand sewing all that much, but you can sew this by hand if you don't have a sewing machine, that's completely fine. We're going to sew along the edges to close Tata's face and make this into an actual bag. And then also leave some space open for the zipper because we actually want to use this as a bag and not as a plushie. Don't forget to leave some space open to sew the bag's belt into, or if you just want to sew it all together in one go, then feel free to do that as well. As for the inner fabric, you can just sew everything except for the place where we're going to add the zipper. As for the belt of the bag, just sew alongside it and then turn it inside out. And then you can place it into the opening of the bag where you wanted your belt to be and sew it shut. So once you've sewn the inner and outer fabrics, and with that also the belt to the outer fabric, we can turn the fabric with Tata's face on it inside out, and then we place the inner fabric into the outer fabric. Now the bag has a lining. So this is the part where I forgot to add some pillow stuffing in between the inner and outer fabric. I really recommend doing this as it helps the bag to keep its shape. I had to add it after taking out the zipper again, so please don't make the same mistake and just add some pillow stuffing in there right now before adding the zipper. Once you've done that, the only thing left to do is adding the zipper. Let's sandwich the zipper with the inner and outer fabric. It's best to fold the edges a little bit for a cleaner finish, but you don't have to if you don't want to. Now take your time sewing the zipper in, and after that, the bag is done. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Okay? Bye bye!